Time now for Front Office Insights presented by Sage. We bring in the man himself, David Stearns, entering his second full season as the Mets president of baseball operations. David, congrats on what was certainly a very exciting offseason and certainly no shortage of activity. Soto specifically, we all know why you targeted him. He's one of the great hitters of his generation. But what do you think was the biggest reason why Juan signed with you?
I think you'd have to ask Juan. I think what we tried to present to him was an organization that cared about him, that cared about his family, and that was ready to compete at a very high level for the duration of what is a very long commitment. And I think as he evaluated all the different teams, he felt that we were the right fit, and we're certainly fortunate that he did.
David, you know, you talk about Pete Alonso coming back, and I just think it's huge for that lineup. Why was it so important for you to bring Pete Alonso and get him back in that lineup?
He makes us better, and that's what it comes down to. There's no question he makes us better. Putting him in the middle of the lineup, wherever he's going to hit, I think Mendy's still working through that, but putting him in the middle of the lineup, it adds that additional power threat. It provides protection all throughout our lineup, and we feel really good now, 1 through 9, that we can score runs, that we can turn the lineup over, get back to the top, and really do damage. And when we're competing against some of the best teams, some of the best lineups, some of the best pitching staffs in the league, having that additional power threat is really meaningful.
When you look at that lineup, if Pete Alonso is right there, like almost like a Judge, Soto Judge was last year, do you think the Juan Soto effect is real, that it maybe could take Pete to another level?
Look, I think great players impact other great players. So it's not just Juan. It's Francisco Lindor. It's Pete Alonso. It's Brandon Nimmo. It's Mark Vientos, who's an emerging star in our game. I think we have a number of players in our lineup who can perform at a very high level, and I think they're going to feed off of each other. And that's really exciting for us to be able to put 1 through 5, 1 through 6 in our lineup every single day of really high caliber, high potential offensive power threats. It's exciting.
You were quoted as saying, David, yesterday, I will say I feel much better about our starting pitching depth sitting here today than I did a year ago. We made that priority our offseason. Why was that so key?
I think we learn again and again in this game that regardless of how much starting pitching you think you have or how good you feel about your starting pitching, you need more. And we found that out very quickly last year. We were in a spot last year where 10 days into the season, we had to go and sign Julio Teheran to make an emergency start for us in Atlanta because we ran out of starting pitching. We had some injuries. We couldn't recall some players because we were too early in the season. And so understanding going into this year where our expectations are, ensuring we had those numbers of starters to get through the entirety of a Major League season and into October was the highest priority for us.
One of the biggest signs that I loved, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, was bringing Clay Holmes in, but then making him trying to make him a starter. Why do you think he could be a great starter in this league?
His stuff package profiles as a starter, and we saw him throw a live yesterday, and I know lives are it's February 13th or whatever it is, and lives are only lives, and you don't really know how it translates, but he looked really good. He's developed a changeup that I think has the potential to be a plus pitch. He has the arsenal to get righties out, to get lefties out. I think he has the work ethic to be able to build the capacity to turn lineups over multiple times. And he wanted to do it. And when you combine all of those things, I think it's a really good opportunity for him to take the next step in his career. And we're excited that he chose us to do it.
You will always be the eternally boyish David Stearns in my eye, but David, you turn 40 in 5 days, February 18th. The question is, who are you?
I'm well aware. I'm well aware.
Who are you celebrating your birthday bash with? Because you celebrate a birthday with the following. Is it going to be John Travolta, Dr. Dre, or Vanna White?
So my wife and kids are going to be in town, so I think I'm going to celebrate with them. I think that's the right answer there. So we'll have a great time. I've got young kids. They love birthdays, whether it's theirs or other people's. They seem to take the celebration on themselves. So we'll have some fun. And yeah, I'm well aware that I'm moving into another decade in 5 days here.
Wife and kids, that's the right answer.
Ice cream cake is all it matters.
Ice cream cake, yeah. David,
yeah.
David, I got one more question for you about Carlos Mendoza. I mean, what impressed you the most about the job that he did last year?
There's a lot that's impressed me from the first time I met Mendy going through the interview process. Yeah, his consistency is clear, whether we're going really good or not. He's the same person. I think his enthusiasm for the game and his enthusiasm for people is something that's come across for me. He loves people, and when you're in a position where you're managing people and your primary job is to put people in positions to succeed, you need to like doing that, and he does, and he's very skilled at it, and I've really enjoyed working with him.
It's certainly been a great combo so far. 89-73, a season to go, all the way to the NLCS. David, congrats on a wonderful offseason. Happy early 40. 40's a new 30, and we'll talk to you soon.